It was a wonderful experience. He was so into investigating. He knows every episode we've ever done. He knows everything about every team member.
It's a little creepy.
Yeah, it was. And he was just so into the investigation, knew exactly, because he had watched every episode, so he felt like he was on these investigations. And he would get right in there and start investigating.
He got so excited to investigate, he ran towards the house, tripped on the stairs,
Wiped out.
and broke our camera. And scraped up his shins, but he got right back up and went to town. It was awesome. Hopefully that like gets on the show.
And one of the coolest things was he's got a new CD coming out in April, and myself, Grant, and Amy were riding in the truck with him and his wife, and he put in a CD, and it was all the music from his upcoming album.
Just the instruments.
Yeah, just the instruments, and then he sang us the words to the songs.
And that little van was really loud.
Yeah, but it was such an honor. It really was. We had a great time.
She is over here going, that's awesome.
Oh, it was.
It was awesome.
He was probably the nicest guy I've ever met. He was super cool. Yeah. Brought us all go-karting and stuff.
Yeah.
Hi, so I have a two-part question depending if you know this information. I'm curious if you guys are familiar with the condition sleep paralysis.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, I'm curious about it because I have sleep paralysis and I'd like to know what you think about it because there's a debate between the scientific world or the paranormal world, and I'd like to know where you stand on that issue.
In my mind, there's really no debate. It's pretty scientific. Sleep paralysis, when you go to sleep, your body paralyzes itself so that you don't get up and enact what's going on in your dreams. So there's regulated breathing and heart rate, and sometimes that doesn't work and people sleepwalk. And sometimes the opposite happens when you wake up, your body's still paralyzed but you're awake and aware. And that's scary because you can't move. And so naturally you want your heart rate to go up and you want to take deeper breaths because you're nervous, but your body won't let you, so you feel like you're being smothered. And a lot of people have misconstrued this as the old hag syndrome and things like this. There's a demon in there pulling your life force out. Weird things happen when your brain doesn't get enough oxygen. And I've had it happen to me twice. It's very scary, but if you know what's going on, it's very easy to just relax and fall back asleep.
There's a new theory, if you don't mind real quick.
Go Steve.
It's that same thing, but there's a recent theory that sleep paralysis actually comes from you stop breathing for a few minutes while you're asleep, which would coincide with lack of oxygen, excuse me. And supposedly it puts your brain into a slight little seizure, which puts you in that paralysis. But that's just a theory.
What's interesting is that paralysis, when your body secretes that chemical, it only paralyzes from the base of your skull down. That's why people still talk in their sleep and the eyes move and everything.
Hi, I have a concern. Every time you guys talk in your vans, when you're going down the road, the driver's got a microphone or walkie-talkie. So I'm always going, oh, we're going to crash, or they're going to get pulled over.
They're not observing the 10-2 rule.
So I'm wondering, really seriously, can't the passenger guy hold them?
Well, yeah, I guess. Hold on, yes.
When Jay and I were plumbing together, right? Riding in the same van when he was training me. This guy could talk on his phone, pour a bottle of soda into a cup, and light a cigarette or I don't know, whatever, at the same time. The guy, I don't know.
While driving with my knee.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like making a souffle while he drives.
Yeah, most of the time when you see that, we're on back streets and stuff, so we're away from major traffic issues. But yeah, I guess we could. That's the answer I got for you.
Usually when they film us in the car, there's so many cameras and things in front of us that we're usually just going a lot slower than it looks. So
well, and Grant and I are so used to that too, because again, being plumbers, we'd be having our necks tell going while we're driving to the job, as they're explaining what's going on there. So it kind of becomes second nature.
Thank you for the concern.
Obviously, you've been doing this for a lot of years. What do you think the most compelling piece of evidence that that you've collected is, and what's the most compelling piece of evidence you didn't catch that you wish you did?
Well, we do a lot of cases that fall under a confidentiality agreement. We do a lot of cases specifically for churches and things of that nature. So some of our best evidence will never be aired because it falls under that. Because we've caught some incredible things, we really have over the years. We've been doing this since around 1990, a lot longer than the show. So yeah, some of the best stuff will never air.
Yeah, I mean, there's been footage of hands stacking by themselves, doors open, closing, things like that. And when you have the time to really invest into a case, you know, you're there for months on end, you can really find some good stuff. And as far as the piece of evidence that I didn't catch, I don't know what it is.
I didn't catch it.
So I couldn't tell you.
International guys, anything on that?
I'd actually have to say it happened on a domestic case. Once again, being in St. Augustine, as Steve noted, we had that one camera pointing up to the lighthouse, and we did capture something leaning over. But what we did capture was I had the handy camera and I was on the stairwell, and we were able to actually see the apparition of a woman walk across the top. But the batteries were going to the IR, and the night shot could only shoot so far, and it was too many levels down. So that case to me was both sides of the coin. It was some of the best evidence, but also an incredible missed opportunity.
I remember how excited you were.
That was a great.
He was almost in tears.
It's true. Very sensitive guy.
He showed it to me. Look at this.
The first year you came to Dragon Con, I told you about my slow leak. I mean, not a slow leak, but a slow drain in my toe.
Oh, plumbing question.
Right.
I know, we never came.
I know, you never showed up because
It's a hell of a travel expense.
No, that was between 2008 and 2005. Yeah.
But anyway, thank you so much. When I got home, it was fixed. So whatever you did.
Do it with the power of our minds.
That's my comment, but my question is, every once in a while y'all do things, you play tricks with each other,
Oh, yeah.
that kind of stuff. I would love to see more of that.
Oh, God.
Well, it's ongoing.
You know,
They
this,
just choose not to show it, believe me.
I can fill you, quickly, we'll fill you in on two of them. First off, Grant and I are on the plane with Donna. And Grant and I are in the very back seats. And you got the bathroom door right behind us. And Donna comes walking down the aisle, the plane's packed. And she goes in the bathroom and she closes it. I knock. You know, she goes, I'll be right out. Okay. Grant knocks. She goes, I'll be right out. I knock. She said, knock it off, guys. So at that time, this little old lady's walking down the hall. I swear to God. She walks down and she knocks on the door. And Donna goes, I swear to God, when I get out, I'm gonna effing kill you. And this little old lady looks at Grant and I like, what the hell? Here comes Donna ripping this door open, and there's this little old lady just there like, what? Anyways,
Donna was bad. We had her actually believing that they genetically engineered cows to create orange juice.
I love Donna. She's like a sister to me. But one time we got Steve. Well, we got everybody. We ended up locking the child locks in the van and threw this huge moth into the back of the van and shut the door. Well, the van starts banging back and forth. So when you look in and you realize Steve is now ripping the keyboard off the computer and he's trying to manage it. But the best part was we didn't realize that when we did that, Tango was in the van too. So Tango's in the corner like this. Man, we have a lot of stupid crap to each other.
I love that story.
I know it.
Steve, Steve,
Yes.
I'm going to give you a time. Do you want to tell about a time you got them? Or any of the other 5 up there?
Steve's very serious, especially on the go-kart track.
Yeah,
It's all business.
I pretty much spin everyone out on the go-kart.
Will you hold this for
Life last time.
You'll have to
I'd
hold
say
it up
my
a
life
little
on the
high.
go-kart track.
I recommend nobody ever go kart racing with Barry.